Tiger Force, showing the colors yellow and black. Hungry to fight and ready to attack. Nobody makes GIJoe.
Tiger sure he's ready. So's the Tiger Cat. Tiger Force, attack.
Nobody makes GIJoe.
Hey, welcome to Half the Battle. Let's talk about Skystriker. No, not the jet, the character.
Yeah, most people know the Tomcats from GIJoe were called Skystrikers, but they also gave the name to a character later on.
Because if there's one thing Hasbro loves, it's reusing names.
That's why there's a GIJoe called Barricade, as well as several Transformers, and even a Cops character. In this case, Skystriker is the Tiger Rat pilot, a repainted Rattler. This figure was released in 1988 with no original body parts whatsoever. It's basically one figure with another one's head put on. They took the head of Thunder and put it on the body of Wild Weasel. It's a bit of an in-joke since, well, Wild Weasel was the pilot for the original Rattler. Reusing an entire body is always a challenge, since you need to make the figure look unique. In the best case scenario, people shouldn't even notice you recycled a previous toy. They did an okay job here. The color scheme is certainly different enough, and they added a bit of detailing, like, for instance, coloring the pouches on his chest.
There is one thing that I find a bit baffling.
They kept the writing on the leg pads identical to the original. It's the one thing that really should be unique to each character. They missed a great opportunity to further set them apart here.
Setting that aside, let's look at the figure on its own merits.
Actually, it's pretty neat. The Tiger Force coloring isn't as in your face as with some of the other figures from that team, and it works for him. Something about Skystriker makes me think he's got a swagger about him. I think it's due to the belts. Yeah, as far as Tiger Force goes, he's definitely in the win column. This was the only figure ever made for the guy, so we can move on to the character. And straight off, he is unique in the original toy line, or, well, at least in Tiger Force anyway. You see, this was the only original new character to appear in Tiger Force. All the other figures were repaints of existing characters. Having said that, the file card doesn't actually treat him as a new character. It says he flew X-30 jets during several attacks on Cobra Island. The X-30, that's the Conquest by the way, and he destroyed over 15 enemy craft. By the way, that's 3 planes linked to this same one guy now. The Skystriker, the Rattler, and the Conquest. Dude gets around. So, he was basically always part of the Joe team, we've just never noticed him until now. Yeah, as far as retcons go, that's a weird and unnecessary one. I almost think he was supposed to be Slipstream, the Conquest pilot, but was changed at some stage. But other than the plane being mentioned, the file card has nothing in common with Slipstreams.
You'll notice I've been talking about the character for a while now, without actually saying anything about what the guy was like. And there's a reason for that. There's really nothing to say.
His entire file card can be boiled down to one phrase. Dude is hella good at flying, and that's it. Well, okay, he got interested in planes because he was an Air Force brat who grew up on a base where his father ran flight ops. But that's it.
Skystriker never appeared in the cartoon or in the comics as far as I can tell, so we can skip that section this time.
Though I will say that having Tiger Force show up in the cartoon would have been weird, considering the Joes often refer to Cobra vehicles as junk, especially compared to their own equipment. Hell, the cartoon even objectively states Cobra vehicles are crap.
1 million? Why, that would barely pay for the cockpit. let alone the precious metals that have gone into this find. Let us turn our attention to this excellent tank.
Yeah, let's steal that sucker and repaint it. And just to be complete, there was some Tiger Force animation done for commercials. So, that was Skystriker. A good toy, but devoid of personality. Yeah, this happens a few times in the GIJoe line, and I'm of two minds about it. On the one hand, it would be neat for the fans if every character was explored as deep as, say, the Baroness. But, on the other hand, these blank slate characters can be fun for kids who can make them into anything they want it to be. I think that's why the Steel Brigade was so popular, since those were the ultimate blank slates.
Well, this certainly seems to be a short episode. Yeah, but you know what? Here on Half the Battle, we make it our mission to talk about each and every single GIJoe character from the original line. That includes bit players that didn't get much attention. What? Oh, no, it's just a coincidence that the new World of Warcraft expansion has just come out. Hey, I wouldn't make a short video just because I want to play some silly computer game. You're not buying any of this, are you? Yeah, well, screw it. I'm off to Draenor. Oh, see you next week, everybody.
Tiger Force, showing the colors, yellow and black. Hungry to fight and ready to attack. Nobody makes GIJoe.
Tiger Shark is ready. So's the Tiger Cat. Tiger Force, attack!
Nobody beats GIJoe. Tiger Force.
Because if there's one thing Hasbro loves, it's reusing games. Games? Names. Yeah, I got video games on my mind for some reason.